Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode and new season of the Football Fignuts podcast. This is season 9. Season 9. Can you believe it? I can't. Episode 1, episode overall 351. I'm Craig.
And my name is Britt. Craig, congratulations on completing 8 full seasons of this crazy-ass idea.
I know, right? I'm shocked, personally.
For those who don't know, and we do tell this story every year, Craig and I were sitting at Two Roads Brewing one afternoon, and I was explaining to him how I had started doing DFS. And I showed him how I was picking my players just using a very basic statistical program that I at the time called the metric. Now, everybody uses the metric now, honestly, believe it or not. And not, you're an innovator. I'm not an innovator. I just had a simple formula that I think everybody else used too, and now it's just become very wide known. It's called points per dollar. That's what they do. And that's essentially what the metric was an early points per dollar formula. So Craig was like, we should do this. So I gave Craig a lineup using the points per dollar, and that week he won like $5 on a double up. And he messages me and goes, "Let's have drinks at Two Roads this week. We need to discuss having a podcast." And the two of us met and drank multiple glasses of Bergamonster.
Moment of silence for Bergamonster.
Yeah, it was a Belgian white made with Bergamonster oranges, I think they're called, but very, very tasty. And thusly this was born. And now here we are 9 years later. And, we have a contributing team of 5 if you count the source who pops in and out when he's not photographed in Greece. But, he's did you tell me that, by the way, that photo doesn't look like him? Quick sidestep.
It did look like him. They do.
There is a picture.
They do look similar.
From the side, they look very similar. My brother looks a lot like Ted Cruz, the senator from Texas. And Ted Cruz was photographed in a very grainy photograph, by the way. It might as well have been Bigfoot, but it's clearly Ted Cruz from the side in Greece while he was supposedly rushing to get back to Texas to deal with a flood emergency. And it looks just like my brother. I had to send it to the group, and I'm like, "Why is my brother in Greece?" And he immediately wrote, "I have never been to Greece." So
yet,
but yeah. So we are a team of 4. Craig and I are the primary. Sean and Cinch are our contributors. And I'm hearing a ringing sound. I just want to make sure there wasn't something going on in my hallway. I think everything's fine. And we're a team of 5 that does fantasy football and has combined over 100 years of fantasy football experience between us. Most of us have been doing this for over 30 years. So we are here. We do daily fantasy during the season. We do season-long prep and draft prep in the preseason, which starts right now for us. And we just have a good time with it. And we drink beer along the way. So does that about cover it, Craig?
No, I think you covered it very well, actually.
So there we go. Let's pop open a beer and let's start where we normally start. Craig, what are you drinking tonight?
So tonight I have something we do have to make it up to this brewery. It's at the edge of the Connecticut border. I think I don't know.
Dudleytown.
Yes. But it's a can of Ghost IPA. I really enjoy their stuff. I've had the open portals. I had the the sour berried one. It's good. Mm-hmm. It's a little on the sweet side more than the sour. So, I personally would like it if it was more sour than sweet. Even Laura thought it was too sweet, but I really like their stuff.
Laura thought it was too sweet?
Yeah.
And Laura prefers the sweeter side.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
But I discovered that Kindred Spirits in Fairfield carries their stuff, which is down the street from my favorite liquor store, Turnpike Spirits. So it works out well.
Mm-hmm. And there's a store near me that's just recently started carrying them too, so I'll be starting to pick them up too. The reason I knew immediately he said Dudleytown was because he's like, we got to go to this. Every time he sees this beer, this conversation happens.
I've seen pictures of it. This concept is pretty cool, and I love their can art. It looks like a cool place.
The concept is amazing. So let's give the listeners just
Not
2
everyone
seconds
is
of insight.
from around here.
Yeah. So Dudleytown is a famous ghost town in Connecticut.
Yes.
Look it up.
Haunted
Dudleytown,
forest.
Connecticut.
All the birds
It's
stop.
in a haunted forest. Yeah. The birds won't go near it. Animals don't get sighted in it very often. And it's been abandoned now for what, like 75, 80 years?
Probably, I think even longer now. But yeah.
Even longer than that. So long that nobody even knows why they picked up and moved. There's rumor, and of course that when you don't know the facts of it, here comes the rumors. Oh, it was witchcraft. The local barber had enchanted everyone to bark like dogs. Okay, maybe it was that. Oh, it was disease. They all became rabid and died. Okay, well that's a possibility too, I guess. Oh, it was aliens. Okay, shut the fuck up. It was not aliens. But it's a famously creepy location in Connecticut. No one really knows exactly what happened there. But yes, a brewing company has decided to make it its theme, and thusly they're making creepy named beers. Ghost, buried, like I buried something.
Yep.
Buried, secrets.
Portals.
What was it? The open portals.
Open portals. Yep.
So, but it's. I mean, you know what we need to do? We need to go to Dudleytown Brewing. We also need to go to Dudleytown.
I think it's illegal. I don't think you can actually go there.
Oh, that's right. It's sealed off, isn't it? It's state land now.
Yeah, you're not allowed there. You get arrested if the state cops find you.
Oh my God, that's right. I forgot
not
about
that people don't go there, but you know.
Oh, they do it all the time.
Yeah, they don't.
They do it all the time, just like the sanitarium.
Yes,
just like the old Fairfield Hill Sanitarium. We have an old closed sanitarium in Newtown, Connecticut, and
which is now a brewery.
Half the buildings have been. One of the buildings houses a brewery. Half the buildings have been repurposed and haunted beer, and the other half of the buildings are boarded up and unused. People break into the boarded up buildings all the time, like doing ghost hunts and shit. It's just like, okay, guys.
They had to fill up the tunnel with concrete because they had the tunnels connecting all the buildings.
Yep.
So they had to fill them up so people didn't go down there. But it's some of the buildings. The last time I was there, I'm just saying, like some of the buildings are really eerie to look at. Like, like you get that weird feeling like something's watching you, but there's like nothing in the window. But the beer's good.
So I have famously said on this podcast and on my stream that I'm sensitive to that kind of things. I don't see ghosts. I don't hear ghosts. But when I'm in a place, and maybe it's just the place is creepy, I feel presences. And what makes me think it's not just me being over dramatic is there have been examples, and I won't bore people with all the stories, but where I'll be staring into a corner and my wife will be like, what are you staring at? And I'm like, there's something over there. I just can't figure it out. And the tour guide will be, oh yeah, will come in and be like, that dark corner over there, that's where the captain of the militia was shot for being a traitor. And my wife will stare at me like, did you know that? And I'm like, hell no, how would I know that? It's the first time I walked in this building. We went to Lake George, New York this year, and we ended up at the Sagamore, which is this eternally old hotel outside of town. It's been there for like 200 years. And as we were walking to the front door, I felt watched. And I said to her, do you feel that? And she goes, yeah, it feels creepy over here. I'm like, I feel like I'm being watched from the windows. And I looked at the windows, specifically on the second floor, and saw nothing. And then we get inside and it stopped. The moment we walked through the front door, that creepy feeling just vanished. Find out later, there have been ghost hunters who swear there is a little girl's ghost who lives on the second floor and stares at people out the window. I don't know this shit. I do believe in spirits. Does that mean I'm a psychic no, it doesn't make me a fucking medium. Mediums like hear shit. I get this feeling like something ain't right. And I feel like if I went to Dudleytown, and I get that feeling at Fairfield Hills as well. So there's a couple places I get that feeling in Connecticut. So anyway, I'm getting us way off topic. I have a road to ruin. That's the end of that conversation.
A classic,
I wasted too much time.
Remember, because it's been 9 years. You remember the first time we had Road to Ruin and we thought it was terrible?
We hated it.
We did.
We hated it. And we spit the shit out.
Now it's amazing.
Now it's my go-to.
Yeah, and now the only really beer I feel like that way is about is Root of All Evil, which really isn't around much. It's kind of random.
It's a winter seasonal.
Yeah, can't do that one.
You can't do Root of All Evil?
I can't.
It's a black lager though. It's like a lager and a stout had a baby, and you like stouts.
I know. There's just to me, it just has a weird aftertaste that I can't get behind. I
Fair.
mean, I'll try now that it's a seasonal. I'll try it again. But
yeah. All right, we're gonna jump right in. Normally we would do burning hot takes, but this week we're just gonna jump right into topics because there is a lot of preseason stuff going on. The start of draft season is upon us. To give folks an idea of what's coming, this week is our season opener. We're going to talk about some news and notes. We're going to start with our positional rankings next week. We will do quarterbacks. Then next week we'll do running backs, then wide receivers, and then our most famous of all shows, the tight end, kicker, and defense extravaganza.
It's important. It's important stuff.
It really, really is. It really is. So just to give you an idea, and we'll do some roundtables with the crew, and we'll get you guys prepped for your drafts. As always, if you have any questions or you have any comments, please feel free to email us, fignutsdfs@gmail.com. I'm also live on Twitch while we record, so if you're in the Only Howard Moon stream, you can also submit questions that way. All right, news and notes. Let's jump right in.
Okay.
Have you seen the Netflix series Quarterback?
I have not, but I have heard of it. And I know.
So it's a series about, brace for yourself. It's a series about being a quarterback in the NFL.
Yes.
And Kirk Cousins is on it this year.
Is he?
And he has finally opened his mouth about what he thinks about the Falcons selecting Michael Penix Jr.
Did he like that?
No. Quote, "It felt like I had been a little misled, or certainly if I had had the information around free agency, it would have affected my decision. I had no reason to leave Minnesota with how much we loved it there if both teams are going to be drafting a quarterback high." He goes on to explain that he knew Minnesota was going to be looking to draft the future quarterback, right?
Okay.
He was aware of this. He was on board with it. He understood it.
Okay.
What he didn't know was that Atlanta was thinking the exact same thing. He thought Atlanta would draft a quarterback, but they would wait till the later rounds, and then they take Penix, and I think it was round 2.
Yeah, it shocked everyone. Everyone was very shocked about that.
You
pick.
and I think we were recording when it happened. we were online because we were both like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, the Falcons
I'd have to
screwed
go
up
back and look.
the Falcons screwed up everyone's draft with that pick.
Oh my God, they were
was expecting
not.
that.
So looking at Penix was round 1. Thank you, Terry. My buddy Terry in chat just told me it was round 1. I knew it was round 1 or 2. That's even worse. So it's a round 1 quarterback. So you bring in this huge free agent, big money. Then you draft the quarterback of the future that year. He does not learn, according to him, by the way, of this until they called him and saying, just so you know, we just submitted our pick and we're taking Michael Penix. He hasn't even put on the uniform yet. Well, except maybe for promo pictures. Craig, is Kirk Cousins in the wrong here? So I guess what the question boils down to is, did the Falcons have an obligation to explain to him their plan? Or is this just the way it goes? Shut up and deal. You're getting paid no matter what. What's your thought?
That's rough. In my view of it, I'm kind of split down the middle between those two. I mean, did they, does a team have to tell a player what they're doing all the time? No, of course not.
Yeah.
Would it be courteous to tell him that? If that was the, like what went on in those talks to get him to go to Atlanta? Like, was that ever brought up? Was that ever brought up? Did he ever ask, or his agent ever ask? Was it ever mentioned? Like, hey, we need you this year, but next year, we might want to draft a quarterback early because, future of the team, blah, 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 blah. So that's what I want to know. Because if they didn't tell him, I mean, yeah, he is getting a lot of money, so in the end, does it really matter? Yeah, maybe, probably not. Probably not. Would it have been courteous of them to tell him? Yes, because then maybe he would have stayed in Minnesota where he was allegedly okay with the idea of it. But if his plan was to go to Atlanta and be the quarterback for the next, 4 or 5 years, whatever his contract was, then they drafted this kid. So yeah, I can see why that would bother him.
So it's just been pointed out in my chat, and I agree with this. He was 8th overall. So you don't look up at somebody and go, wow, I can't believe that guy slid to us at number 8. no one slides to you at number 8 in the NFL draft.
Right.
Fantasy drafts, yeah. Not in the NFL draft. So to your point, the Falcons clearly knew they were targeting Michael Penix.
Yeah, I'm sure they're...
Before he signed the contract.
Mm-hmm.
They knew this. And they didn't tell him. He finds out when he's sitting at home and his phone rings and it's the head coach saying, hey, just so you know, we're drafting Michael Penix.
Yeah, like what if he wasn't there? Like, I wonder what their plan was if he wasn't there. I'm also curious about that.
That's a great question too. I don't know. So I think, my point of view on this is Cousins has every right to be upset. I'm not a big fan of saying the players get to run the asylum, but when you sign a free agent and you give him $180 million to come to your team and you don't tell him up front, we're probably drafting your successor, or we have one of our plans is to draft your successor.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little shitty.
Yeah.
That's a little shitty.
Because if they said to him, hey, we're really interested in this kid. If he's there at our pick at 8, we're going to draft him. If he's not there, then he's not there. But if he is there, we're taking him because we want him.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing. Here's what Kirk Cousins is a better man than I am. He has kept his mouth shut until now about this. But if I were him, the first time Michael Penix threw an interception this year, I would start warming up. I would get one of the ball boys and I would just start throwing the ball back and forth down the sideline. And I would do it for like a minute or two, and I would put the headset back on and then resume. The next time he did it, I would do it again. Every time he turned the ball over, every time he failed to convert like a 3rd and 5 or shorter, start warming up. But let the cameras show that I'm standing there, because we both know that Penix is going to start. They made the change at the end of last year. Penix is going to start. And that means every time Penix doesn't throw a touchdown or a first down, the camera is going to go to Kirk Cousins in his headset.
Yeah, it will. It will. He'll just be there. He'll just be there with his clipboard, just looking around.
The only time they won't do that is if the Falcons play the Chiefs, because they got to show Taylor Swift. But other than that, it's going to be all Kirk Cousins on the TV every time Penix slips up.
Yep.
And how terrible is it for Michael Penix? This is your sword of Damocles is over your head every single minute.
Yeah,
every single minute.
That's rough to, like, it's not his fault. Like, he didn't tell Atlanta to draft him. But yeah.
Yeah. So that was the first thing. I'll be interested to see how that plays out. The second item tonight comes to us from SI.com.
Okay.
A former Pro Bowler turned analyst has said that Kenneth Walker Jr. Oh, sorry, the third. Kenneth Walker III, who, just in case you don't know who he is. Yeah, he's not a rookie anymore.
Oh, okay.
But he plays in Seattle. Seattle.
Yep.
Is no better than the 16th best running back in the league.
Okay.
Who said this?
Who said
Maurice Jones-Drew.
Wow. Coming from a running back.
MJD.
Damn.
Right?
Damn.
Craig, we're going to get into running back rankings in a couple of weeks, but I'm going to preview right now. Every single member of our team has him ranked between 12th and 15th overall. So we're not that far off of what MJD is saying.
True.
Is Kenny Walker only an average running back?
On this team that's full of changes now and his injury history, I don't think any of us are wrong, including Maurice Jones-Drew.
Would you be surprised if he was a top 10 back this year?
I would be. Now, here's a question, though. Do you consider...
Yeah.
Because this necessarily wouldn't match together. Do you mean more of a top 10 fantasy running back or a top 10 running back in the league? Fantasy, okay.
Fantasy running back.
Because those two things don't necessarily have to match up. Okay.
Correct. So our number 10, just to preview this, our number 10 fantasy running back in our consensus rankings is Jonathan Taylor. You're telling me you take Jonathan Taylor over Kenneth Walker III?
I mean, I wouldn't. Because I gave up on Jonathan Taylor a long time ago. But yeah.
And yet you ranked him over him.
I know.
You did. You ranked Jonathan Taylor 9th.
Yep. I know. I'm not going to draft him.
See, I wouldn't be surprised if he was a top 10. I think it's a little harsh to sit there and go he's average. Yeah, but there's a lot of guys who are average and still really productive at the running back position. You know,
True.
I think this year is going to be a really average year for quarterbacks. Honestly, I think there's two or three names, and then everybody else is like, who do you like?
Pick one.
And I say that, pick one. It becomes a pick one. It becomes a joke with Sean right there. I don't listen. There's a top three. You can put them whatever order you want, but the top three are Bijan, Gibbs, and Barkley. Right? There's those three, and then there's everyone else.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry's a freaking amazing talent. Derrick Henry's 1,000 years old.
That's true. He's very brittle sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes.
Well, there's some really interesting rookies. That's absolutely true. There are some really interesting rookies. We have no idea what to expect out of any of them.
Nope.
Any of them.
None. Yeah,
Well, what about the guys who've been around a couple of years, like Devon A-Chain? You mean A-Glass? Devon A-Glass?
The Dolphins are literally a team of concussions.
I cannot with the Dolphins anymore. I cannot.
Nope.
I just...
The Dolphins gave up on trying to be good like 3 or 4 seasons ago. They were like, you know what? It's just too much work.
Every year, all I hear is the Dolphins are going to win like 10 to 12 games this year. All the pieces are there.
They were, just not on the field at the same time.
Let me tell you something. All the pieces were there when Humpty Dumpty fell off the fucking wall, and it still didn't work out.
That's true. That's true.
So I would not be surprised. Kenny Walker has always been one of those guys that's intriguing to me. He had that really good rookie campaign, which kudos to Sean. Sean was the only one who ranked him that year.
That's true.
And we know that because we had to sit there because all he wrote on his sheet was Walker.
And no one knew who it was.
Fuck is
the Texas Ranger?
Who the fuck is Walker? And he went, Walker, the rookie. And I went, there's probably 20 rookies in the league right now between unsigned guys and everything. Walker, can you please be more specific? And he was like, Seattle. And I'm like, is this fucking password? Why am I getting one-word clues to try and figure out what you're thinking?
Is he a Mariner? What's
Walker. Ranger? Seattle. Walker, Seattle. Frazier? Rookie. Like, what the fuck is this? A bad game show? Let's go. It just annoyed the shit out of me. We had a good laugh about it 3 years ago. So, yeah. So I think Kenny Walker's a little underrated here. But all right, next topic.
Sure.
Get ready to be blown away.
Okay, I'm sitting.
Are you sitting down?
Yep.
Bill Barnwell of ESPN has been ranking offensive units in regular football, mind you, regular football, and ranking them as best or worst in the league.
Okay.
Buffalo Bills, who scored the most points in the league last year, he has it 28th out of 30.
Wow. Too many changes in Buffalo for him, huh?
Quote, this probably feels low for one of the league's best offenses, but star quarterback Josh Allen has been removed from the equation. While general manager Brandon Beane might disagree, this is likely the least imposing group of receivers in the NFL on paper. Khalil Shakir continues to improve and averaged an impressive 2.4 yards per route run last season.
Oh, God.
And not per catch, per route run. Don't forget, that's different. Continuing the quote. But virtually every other Buffalo pass catcher failed to take a leap forward. Dalton Kincaid failed to top 55 receiving yards in a game. Second-round pick Keon Coleman averaged 19.2 yards per catch, but he wasn't able to command a consistent role in the lineup and had just 3 catches on 46 routes in the postseason. Free agent addition Curtis Samuel was often anonymous, and while Mac Hollins exceeded expectations, he has been replaced by former Chargers wideout Joshua Palmer. End quote. Craig, is this too harsh, or is this a sign of things to come?
Yeah, I don't think they'll be that bad, but on paper, going by this list of receivers they currently have, because, you know, it could change.
Yeah.
It could change.
Absolutely.
They're not good. They're not, well, let me just put it this way. They're good. They're not what you expect from the last, 4 or 5 seasons of the Bills offense to be. So
they did not get better.
They did not get better. They got worse. So maybe a little bit harsh, but yeah, I don't think, as of right now and what's on paper, I don't think they'll be a top 10 offense. Will they still win games? Yes. Are they going to go back to scoring 52 points a game? No.
Well, here's the problem, right? Who in the AFC East is going to be good? We just talked about how no one can trust Miami.
Nope.
New England is rebuilding.
Yep.
The Jets
are the Jets.
Exist. The Jets should be better this year. All I keep hearing is the Jets have got to be better this year.
They should be better.
There's no way they could be worse. There's no way they could be worse. That's all I keep hearing. I don't know anymore.
Honestly, if you look at these teams right now, the AFC East is a giant question mark. Like, are the Bills going to be the first ones in the AFC East? Probably.
Yes.
But who's going to be the two? I don't know. Probably the Jets.
And maybe? You know what's interesting about that's point is that's how we've looked at the AFC West like the last 4 or 5 years. The Chiefs have been a dominant force, and everybody else was rebuilding. This year, I think the Chiefs don't win the West.
Really?
Somebody asked me during my live stream today, do you think the Chiefs win the Super Bowl this year? Actually, they called it the Superb Owl, which I kind of really liked. But and I said, no, they don't. I'm not sure they win their division this year.
The Broncos,
Denver has gotten
Broncos look
way
good.
better.
They have. They've upgraded a lot. And the Chargers are the Chargers still, but
yes, the Broncos and the Chargers last year brought in an offensive-minded coach who's had a year to build and bring in people he wants to bring in. And they are vastly different looking teams than they were 24 months ago.
Yes.
The Raiders need to win 10 games in the season before I even bring them into the conversation. And I don't see it this year anyway either. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Show me 10 wins and then I'll even acknowledge you play in the division. But I would be shocked if the Chiefs ran away with the AFC West this year like they have for the last decade, because the other guys have gotten way better.
Yeah.
And now we look at the AFC East and it's a similar path. It's Bills. And you look at it, you say, well, who could possibly contend with them? Eventually one of them's gonna. Ain't gonna be Miami. I'm just gonna say that.
No, it's gonna be the Jets or New England. It's not gonna be Miami. Miami's on the down part of the dial right now.
And Vrabel's a coach that has like an instant impact effect. Don't forget, Tennessee won 7 more games when he joined there. So he's just one of those guys who changes cultures instantly. So I think that the Patriots could be decent this year. Do they make the playoffs? No. But maybe they go 7-9, and that's an improvement.
Yeah.
That's a significant improvement. Maybe they beat Buffalo in New England.
No, maybe.
Which hasn't happened in 10 years since Brady left. So go ahead.
No, so yeah, maybe if the Patriots, it won't shock me. If they say the Patriots and the Jets finish at 500.
Yeah.
I can still see the Bills winning the East, but yeah, I definitely don't know who would come in second. Between those two, it's not going to be the Dolphins. I'll just tell you that right now.
Watch the Dolphins. The Dolphins are going to finally have that year. They're going to go 12-5.
Or
we're sitting here.
Or Shane and Tua go out in the first 2 weeks with concussions, and then it's over. So.
Oh my God, I can't. All right, the last topic I had on the list for tonight. I can't believe we've gotten through all our topics. So I hope you have something you'd like to discuss, because I'm done after this one. See, we're a very laid back podcast. We don't have to coordinate in advance.
We don't.
Did you know that flag football is going to be an Olympic event in 2028?
I did not know that.
Well, it is. And recently, it has been announced that NFL players will be eligible to play in it. The league is fine with it. The league put out a statement. Roger Goodell, when he's not in league with the devil, said, quote, "It's an incredible honor for any athlete to represent their country in the Olympics, which is the pinnacle of global sport." End quote.
Okay.
He later said Athrak, Zinthros, Myos, and summoned several demons to do his bidding, but that's a separate part of the story. What I'm going to ask you is this. How many players and how many teams have to be looking at this and going, oh God, it's Robert Edwards on the beach all over again?
I think most of them. I think players who are towards the end of a contract, or players who towards the end of their career are going to be more likely to play, or guys that are second or third strings. As much as it'd be cool to see like Josh Allen and Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes in the Olympics, they're the type of players that have way too much to risk, like for the Olympics. I think. I mean, maybe all three of them will play. I don't know, but
here's the thing with American football being a predominantly American sport.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there are clubs in Europe and there are teams in South America. Okay, get that. Blah blah blah. But isn't this just another setup for basketball was to like basically hand the U.S. a medal? I mean,
yeah.
If we sent the Buffalo Bills receiving corps
to Europe,
we just
or wherever it's going to be.
Yeah, if we sent the Buffalo Bills receiving corps and a decent mid-range quarterback, let's go with an older guy, Joe Flacco.
Yep.
I don't even know how many people play on this, like 5 or 6. It's been years since I've done flag football. So, but you send those guys, they're still going to be way better than any other nation's lineup, right?
In theory, yes. Yeah. In football, we have the advantage. Not really in any other sport, I don't think.
Just that basketball, but even basketball.
But basketball is even becoming more competitive now, I think.
Basketball has so shifted. And why did it shift? Because of the fucking Olympics.
Yep.
35 years ago, they did the original Dream, and they basically marched through the freaking tournament. Now, we got NBA draft picks we've got NBA drafts where like 3 or 4 guys in the top 5 are coming from outside countries because other countries have started to embrace the game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great for the sport. That is fantastic for the NBA. I sit here and I think to myself, and by the way, do you remember when Robert Edwards got hurt? We're still talking about this.
That was a very long time ago.
1999.
See, it was a long time ago.
And we're still talking about this. For folks who may not know what the hell we're talking about, Robert Edwards was a Patriot running back who got elected to the Pro Bowl and agreed to do an on-the-beach flag football game for ESPN and suffered a catastrophic leg injury running down the beach and never played again.
Nope.
Never played again. Ruined his career by doing that. So I think the question is a good one. Is this something that players are going to worry about? There are always going to be those guys who want to represent their country. Always going to be those guys.
Yeah. I mean, if players want to do it, they should definitely do it. I just think there's some players who know they just have too much to risk for that.
Yeah.
Right now, anyway. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's insane. It's funny to me that we're still talking about Robert Edwards. I'll apologize to Cinch right now because Cinch is going to listen to this and be like, "Why are you bringing this up? Why you got to do this to me?"
Cinch is still sad Brady's gone, and then the Mets haven't won a World Series in a long time. So we're here for you, buddy.
No.
We're here for you.
You're going to get such shit. I just want to go on left record and just say that. That's all Craig. I did not bring up Brady. I did not bring up the Mets. I'm wearing my Mets shirt as we're recording this. I'm wearing one of my Mets shirts. So the Mets, don't get me started on the Mets. They are such a freaking tire fire right now. Although they did beat your Yankees this weekend.
They did. They won 3 out of 4. So, or no, 2 out of 3.
That's
2 out of 3.
That's beating them.
That is
2 out of 3.
That is.
That's winning the series. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. What do you got tonight? You have anything you want to toss on the Barbie before we wrap up?
Yeah. So I saw a list earlier today. Someone ranking divisions.
Ooh.
Like which divisions are going to have the best teams. So.
Ooh.
So for example, let me load up this page here.
So you're talking about like overall, I take these 4 teams in a division and they're better than the 4 teams in another division.
Right.
Okay. So you got to take the division as a whole, which hurts the AFC West because the Raiders are terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
God, the AFC North, the poor AFC North. The Bengals are contenders. The Ravens are contenders. Pittsburgh won't go away. Cleveland's a tire fire.
So let's see.
Poor Browns. I had a Browns fan on my stream today, and he was saying, "Yeah, I'm a Browns fan. Where do you have Joe Flacco ranked?" And I'm like, "You don't want to know."
They're getting a stadium with a dome. That's something.
Well, then that means they can lose in comfort.
True. They don't have to spend money to sit in the rain and or snow.
While you're looking that up, short answer: is the Deshaun Watson trade the worst trade in the history of sports?
Yes.
It's got to be up there, right?
It's got to be up there. I can't think of another one other than. Yeah, no.
I'll put you on the spot.
I can't think of another trade.
I'm sure if you had time.
It was that bad.
God, why? Nothing good has happened to your team.
I mean, it helped the Texans.
Nothing. Oh yeah, the Texans are sitting there laughing about it. Like when they're having a bad day, somebody goes, "Hey guys, Deshaun Watson," and there's a moment of silence and everybody laughs. So, yeah.
All right. Okay. So here is the list, the power rankings for divisional list that I saw. All right.
Okay.
Are you ready? We're gonna go 1 through.
Yeah.
1 through how many divisions are there? 8.
Wow. 8. All right. So give me 1 and 2, and I'll see if I agree with the order to start with. Or do we want to go bottom up? What do you feel like?
Let's go bottom up.
Bottom up. So where's the worst division in football?
The AFC South.
Hard to argue that.
Because you have the Texans, you have the Colts, you have the Jaguars, and the Titans.
The Jaguars have been pathetic. They should have gotten better, and they just stopped getting better. The Texans got better, but they're still a weak team in a weaker division. Who else is down there? Jaguars, Texans. You just mentioned them. I can't remember.
The Titans and the Colts.
The Titans, yeah. The Titans had their moment. Oh, sure. The Titans had their moment in the sun. And the Colts seem to be on some sort of evil mission to kill Anthony Richardson.
Yeah. He's going to be like Andrew Luck, like part 2 at this rate.
Andrew Luck retiring, which, by the way, effed us in a dynasty league where we had a dynasty startup where we had taken him like literally a week earlier.
Yes.
He looks like a fucking genius because the Colts have been a tire fire.
Yeah. I think Andrew Luck's a coach in college now somewhere, or high school.
Good for him. So my question would be, okay, who's number 7?
The NFC South, which includes teams such as the Falcons, the Panthers, the Saints, and the Bucks.
The Bucks had a really good year offensively last year, but one team does not save you, and the reality is they are a better version of the Texans in terms of like the same thing. They're a below average team in a really terrible division. So yeah, all right. So far I'm good with this. All right, what's number 6?
Number 6, the AFC East, who we talked about many times today.
Because the Bills have been so dominant and because they do make it to the AFC Championship, I can understand why they'd be ranked those other squads. All right, I'm good with this list so far. What's 5?
The NFC West, which includes the Cardinals, the Rams, the 49ers, and the Seahawks.
That's difficult to swallow because the Rams and 49ers have made Super Bowls 3 of the last 5 years.
Yeah, I think they're basing it off of current,
where we are now?
Where we are now.
Is Arizona ever going to be a team that gets it right?
No, I don't think so.
Like, legit?
Not till they get a different quarterback. I'm sorry, Kyler Murray fans. That's just...
I love Kyler Murray.
I know, me too.
I cannot defend the fact that he is bizarrely bad every time Call of Duty releases. I can't defend that. But the kid is just so talented. He's such a playmaker.
He's on the wrong
he just
team.
Doesn't get it done.
He's just on the wrong team.
He's a wrong team and a foot short.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So NFC, who's number 4?
The NFC East.
No, they're not worse than the NFC West.
So you would
Giants
swap those
are
two.
Abysmal. Absolutely. The Giants are abysmal. The Cowboys constantly disappoint. The Eagles are the Super Bowl champion and perennial at this point. So there's that.
Yeah.
But you could say the same thing about the Rams and 49ers in different positions too. Yeah, I don't know if I buy that. I would have the NFC East a little lower.
They gave the Commanders a lot of points. So I think that's what
the Commanders made a lot of strides last year, which makes me nervous for them because with strides comes expectation. And I think the expectation this year is going to be really high on them.
And the Cowboys, which I forgot they hired him, have Brian Schottenheimer now. So
just another guy to go there and fail.
Yep.
Well, who was the last coach they brought in that actually made meaningful change and took them to a Super Bowl? Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah. Who's the guy?
Don't tell me Barry Switzer.
Was that the guy after Jimmy Johnson? Was it Barry Switzer?
It was Barry Switzer. A monkey could have taken that team to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was
I'm
Jimmy
not. I'm not
Johnson.
even joking. I'm not even joking. Put a little red hat on a monkey at the zoo, and call him the head of the Cowboys. And Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Alvin Harper, a absolutely punishing defense. That team, a monkey could have. Barry Switzer wears a Super Bowl ring, and I'm sure he ain't giving it back. But
no, he just shifted into cruise control and just let it go.
Yes, that's it. That's it. And I don't want to hear Jerry Jones put that team together. That was a lot on Jimmy Johnson. A lot on that. Okay, go on.
All right, number 3 is the AFC West.
Too high.
Too high. All right.
Too high. And I think the AFC West is going to be really good this year. It's still too high. All right, go on. Who's 2?
Number 2, the AFC
I would definitely
North.
put the AFC West behind AFC North. See, Cleveland drags them down so much.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers is a Steeler now, so there's that.
So that obviously leaves the NFC North as the 1.
Yes.
So I'm doing in my head a comparison. The AFC North has 3 contending teams. So does the NFC North. The worst team in the AFC North, Cleveland, is worse than the worst team in the NFC North, the Bears.
Yes.
Is the best team, which you could go Ravens or Bengals, better than the best team, the Lions or the Packers? I'd have to say that's a little bit of a toss-up. So, this list isn't terrible. I think the AFC West and the NFC East are a little high, but otherwise it's a pretty solid list. What are your thoughts?
No, I thought at first I was shocked for the NFC North, and then I thought about the teams in the divisions, like what you just said.
Detroit has gotten so much better.
Detroit's gotten a lot better. The Packers are trying. The Vikings, for me,
Packers made the playoffs.
That's true. That's true. They just have no... Their receiving core makes me so angry. Now I kind of understand why Aaron Rodgers was mad. Because I don't know what the Packers do with receivers.
But they still continue to produce.
True, but they're all, like, broken. I don't know. But
they were broken when Rodgers was there then, too. Devontae Adams is hurt all the time. Sterling Sharp was hurt all the time.
My biggest question mark there is the Vikings and their quarterback.
All right, so I was listening to... So, mini 10-second rant on the side here.
Sure.
I was listening to Sirius XM this morning, Fantasy Sports Radio.
Mm-hmm.
In years past, around this time of year, they make a decided shift from fantasy baseball to fantasy football because, as Jeff Ratcliffe put it, fantasy football season really begins after the 4th of July. That's it. July 4th, you have your hot dogs, and now you're working on your teams.
Yeah, I see that.
In years past, the Monday after the holiday, like the second week of July, is normally when they bring back fantasy football mornings, which is like 7 to 9 a.m. And then when we get to September, it's 7 to 10 a.m.
Okay.
They did that this year, except fantasy football mornings is only 7 to 8. They went from a 2-hour show preseason, 3-hour show during the season, to a 1-hour show. And supposedly, they don't plan on changing it. They moved Jeff Ratcliffe up to the 8 a.m. hour, which he used to follow them at like 9 or 10, depending on the time of the year. Mm-hmm. And today he was like, yeah, they're telling me 8 a.m. is going to be my time slot going forward.
Huh.
So
interesting.
This bugs me that listen, fantasy football is going to outpull fantasy baseball in July and August every year. The end. Just like there's no reason you would talk about fantasy football in March.
Exactly. That's why we don't, unless something happens.
Yeah, that's why we only do 2 episodes in March, and we wait. But it was just like, it was very strange. I was like, why are they only giving them an hour? And part of it is that John Hansen, the fantasy guru, has gone into semi-retirement. He's not hosting the show anymore. And I think that's affected the ratings a little bit. But at the same time, he's still doing a weekly drop-in. And he did the weekly drop-in this week, today, which is why I remembered this. So number 1, SiriusXM, get your shit together. Stop fucking around. Put the Fantasy Points morning show back on from 7 to 9. Put Jeff Ratcliffe on at 9. And then at 10 a.m., you can have somebody talk about fucking baseball. The end. Moving on.
I agree.
That came to mind because today was, thank you, John Hansen's appearance. And they were talking about how incredibly average the quarterback class is this year compared to other positions in previous years. And basically they were like, is it really worth paying up for Jalen Hurts when you can get like, Baker Mayfield like eight rounds later? Why would you do that? Yeah, Hurts is better, but is Mayfield that much worse that you're not willing to wait 8 rounds to get him? And I get the point. But what John came out and said, what John came out and said was, the guy I'm targeting this year is JJ McCarthy, because I can get him in like the 12th or 13th round and he could be a top 5 quarterback. And immediately, like lemmings, the other guys in the show were like, yeah. John said it, so it must be true. Yeah. Let me just say, I love John Hansen. I think he does a tremendous job. But yeah, he's the boss. Even if he's semi-retired, he owns fantasy points. They're going to say what he wants to say.
Right.
But it got me thinking, are we underestimating JJ McCarthy because of the injury?
JJ McCarthy is high risk, high reward. That's pretty much what it's going to
get him. All right, go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say that he's a giant gamble at quarterback. Because again, I haven't seen him play since college. I don't know how he is. Like, I don't know if he has the yips. So if you do draft him, I would just say make sure you have a reliable backup.
So again, spoiler, everyone in our team has him between 20 and 25 on the consensus rankings. That means around the time he goes, guys like Justin Fields, CJ Stroud, Drake May, Trevor Lawrence, Tua Tagovailoa, those are guys there. If I'm going to wait that long to get quarterback, do I care if I draft back-to-back quarterbacks in 12 and 13 and get Justin Fields and JJ McCarthy? Now compare it to like number 9 on our list is Bo Nix. Is that big of a difference fantasy-wise between Bo Nix and Justin Fields? There's 10 spots between them, but are they that wide, or is it just that is the huge just a guy group?
I think that's a huge just a guy group. Plus, Bo Nix has a season under him, like fantasy-wise, of what he could be capable of. Whereas Justin Fields, we saw him play for the Bears for a season, and then what happened? So again, another giant question mark.
So, do you want to go after a Justin? Do you want to go after a Bo Nix in round 7 and pass up? All right, let me just toss a name out there. A wide receiver who might be available in round 7. Drake London. Are you going to sit there and say, I got to get Bo Nix instead of Drake London when there's all these other guys that are exactly the same guy sitting out there? Because I don't think so. I think I'm going to sit there and go, I got to grab Drake London while I can. Because wide receiver, but by the time I get to the point where I'm looking at Justin Fields, now the best available is Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to go with London, I think.
You have to evaluate value, and where there is steep drop-offs, and there are steep drop-offs in the wide receiver and in the running back categories. There are 3 running backs, and then there's everybody else.
Yes.
Okay. There is a steep drop-off. I haven't finished the wide receiver ones. All I've done is imported the pro rankings, and the pro rankings are Jamar Chase, okay, top tier, Justin Jefferson, top tier, CeeDee Lamb, top tier, arguably, okay, Puka Nacua, okay, top tier, arguably. So those are 4 names. Yep. The 5th name down is Malik Neighbors.
Somebody has to catch New York.
There are pros who have him ranked ahead of Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, people are coming off the St. Brown train, I've noticed.
I will so far. You know what? Punch my ticket. But my point just being is that I think guys like JJ McCarthy, this is going to be the year where if you pick the guy you can get late, late draft picks always win leagues, Howard. Yes, shut up. I get it. But more so at quarterback than any year I can remember. Even last year where I said a similar thing. This year, quarterback is not a priority. Like, I think I could win a league and take the last 2 guys as my starting quarterbacks.
This year, yeah. If you don't have one of the top, I don't know, 3-4 quarterbacks, then yeah, I don't think. Again, it's another position where the drop off happens really quick.
We have, and I'll spoil this now for our guys. We have in our top 5. You tell me where the drop off hits.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen,
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts,
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow,
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
Is that your first cliff? Because that's where my first cliff is.
Yeah, that's where my first cliff is.
Because the next names are Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield, and Kyler Murray.
Oh dear God, yeah. Burrow is the edge of the cliff.
And there are people who will argue Burrow is on the bottom side of that cliff. There are people who will make that argument that this is a 3-man race, Jackson, Allen, Hurts. So are you going to pay up for Jalen Hurts in round 5? Or are you comfortable getting Bo Nix in round 9? Or are you comfortable getting J.J. McCarthy and Justin Fields back-to-back at 11 and 12? I'm comfortable with Fields and McCarthy at 11-12.
Yeah, I think I would, with the issues I had at running back last year, or just positional players rather. Yeah, I think I would go 11-12 there too.
And running back's an even more defined cliff. It's Barkley, Robinson, Gibbs, everyone else. The end. The end.
I mean, if you're in a PPR league, you can argue about catches, but yeah, pretty much.
But the guys who catch the ball, the guys who get killed all the time, like Christian McCaffrey.
Yes.
The guys you're going to say, oh, it's a screen to McCaffrey. Oh, he's down at the 30 and his legs at the 25.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the problem. That's the problem. All right, we're way over time. That's fine. That's fine. Good conversation. Next week, we will delve in even deeper into the quarterback mix. Craig, give our audience your final thought as we start season 9. I almost said week 9.
That's it. That'll be here soon enough. Season 9, just thank you for being here along this ride we've had. It's been fun. I enjoy doing it. It's been a wild time. Can't believe it's still going on. And thanks.
Yeah.
And it's the time to start paying attention to football.
Yeah, I mean, that's it, guys. We talk about everybody settle down, don't need to worry, blah, blah, blah.
Now the fire alarm's going off.
The fire alarm is going off. The copier is out of toner. The building's on fire. It reminds me of, I don't remember if you remember the Kentucky Fried Movie.
Oh, yeah.
If you may remember, it's a bunch of skits. But they kept doing like movie previews. And one of the movies they did was called That's Armageddon.
Yes.
It was like every disaster movie rolled into one. But in one of the scenes, somebody runs in and goes, "Governor, the entire city's on fire. There's a massive tidal wave hitting this way. People are panicking in the streets. We need to know what to do." And in that moment, the governor gets shot and dies. So we never find out what his plan was. But it may feel at times like that's where you are. You have time to prepare. Start working. You know what? You started working by listening to this. Congratulations. You are smarter than everyone who does not listen to this podcast because you're starting to work.
There you go.
Listen to stuff. Start talking to people. But whatever you do, don't buy into everything you hear. You are going to hear a lot of stuff. Like you might even look, if you went back and looked at certain podcasts, I'm not saying which ones, you might even hear how great Travis Etienne was going to be last year. Do your own decision making. At the end of the day, rankings, guides, experts, prognostications, shamans, whatever you want to call us, are just here to give you guidance for you to make your own decision. Go ahead and make it. Enjoy your team. Because if all we did was just spit out ADPs, it wouldn't be worth the ride.
Well said.
This has really been worth the ride. Yeah, this has really been worth the ride, and we appreciate it. And you can make it worth the ride for us by leaving us a review wherever you found this podcast. Apple, Spotify, anywhere you find podcasts. If you could leave us a review, that'd be fantastic. We'd also love to hear from you. We have given up on Twitter. Yes, it's still Twitter, you gigantic ass moron. Ugh. Shoot yourself into space, Elon. There, I said it. Come for me. Anyway, 2 beers in, all of a sudden he's like, oh God, political rivals. Here we go. But yeah, you can email us, fignutsdfs@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. This is a great time of year. If you have draft questions, keeper questions, Craig and I would love to debate them and tell you what we think. Again, your call, but we'd love to tell you what we think. And we just want to thank you all for listening. Thank you for making this this journey worthwhile. So, Craig, the easy time is over.
It is. It has begun.
All I can see is Shang Tsung in my head. It has begun.
That was a good movie.
And if you don't know what that means, oh my God, that was such a good video game movie. Do you remember when you and I went to see the Warcraft movie?
Yes, I enjoyed that movie. Like,
I did too, but like no one else on Earth did. It was you and me and everybody else.
I know. I enjoyed it. I have to watch it again. But
10-second story. Craig and I went to see Warcraft, the movie, like a week after it opened. There was like 20 people in the theater, and the final credits start to roll, and like everybody but Craig and I get up and we're like, what a piece of shit. I don't know. Craig and I were like, we're going to stay for the credits.
Yeah.
We sat there and watched the fucking credits.
It had a good soundtrack too, so yeah, it's all right.
It did. It actually used the intro theme, if you remember, during the credits, and we were both like,
I know.
But anyway, join us next week. We will be back for the quarterback rankings when our guest will be Sean, a man who is notorious for being unable to make decisions, but also somehow making all the right decisions when it comes. So first, let's take a moment really quick and thank our most loyal listener. We always say hi to Deb. Thank you, Deb.
Thank you.
Just thank you for listening. You'll hear this 6 months later because she listens to us in batches, but thank you. And thank you all for listening. We really appreciate it. Until we see you next week, my name is Britt.
I'm Craig.
And we are the Football Fignuts Podcast.